Morning all, and welcome to our Tuesday morning lockdown yoga taster session, week 12. How are you? So, nice gentle one today. By request, we're going to be doing some yoga poses that will help to alleviate lower back issues. So we'll be working at a lot slower pace than we've been used to, especially the past couple of sessions where we've had loads of planks and side planks, so you'll be pleased to know there'll be none of that today. But still be careful when you're practicing, especially if you're working with any injuries or niggles today, particularly around the lower back area. Okay, shall we start? Enjoy the practice, everyone. We're going to start in a semi-supine position. So if you come down onto your backs, please, have the legs bent, so you can either have your feet and knees hip distance, or maybe take the feet mat distance and rest the knees together, so whatever's suiting you better this morning. And just push the back of your head into the mat so you can lift and separate the shoulder blades before putting them back down. To get this sense of lengthening through the spine and broadening across the back of the shoulders. And then just rest your hands where they feel comfy, so away from the sides or on your tummy. And close your eyes. Start to draw your focus inwards. Get a sense of slowing down. Taking your focus to your breath. If you can, breathing in and out through your nose. Nasal breathing, this is a more controlled way of breathing. And sending signals to your brain that all is calm, all is well. Let's take a little scan through the body whilst we're here. Notice how we're feeling. Notice what's going on with our body this morning. This is your time to settle, to commit to your yoga practice this morning. Okay, so slight adjustment for how we are positioned. We're going to take the knees and the feet so that they are hip distance, and just take the hands to your hips. So we're going to begin by doing some pelvic tilts this morning. So we're just simply going to tilt the pelvis towards a navel. So it might be that your tailbone just lifts slightly off the mat. And then we're going to tilt the pelvis the other way so that your lower back lifts up off the mat. Just see how that's feeling for you. And when you've got used to the movement, we're going to connect it to our breath. So it's an out breath to tilt the pelvis towards a navel when this space at the front is slightly smaller. And then an in breath when you've got more space to tilt the pelvis back the other way. Okay, so let's take that a few more times. Breathing out, tilting the pelvis towards a navel. And breathing in, tilting the other way. Let's do that a couple more times. Let your breath slow the movement down, and your movement slow your breath down. So tilt it forwards one more time, tilt it backwards one more time. And then bring your knees to your chest, knees to chest pose. We're just going to take it nice and gently. So popping the hands on top of the knees, slight pressure on the knees there to hug them in towards the chest. Should be starting to feel a nice little stretch going on in the lower back. Okay, we're going to connect this to breath now. Apanasana, our energy pose. So hands on top of the knees. We're going to take a breath in to push the knees away so the arms straight and keep that contact hands and knees. And then on an out breath, hug the knees in. Tailbone may peel up off the mat, that's fine. Let's go a couple more times. So breathing in to push away, breathing out to hug. Let's take that one more time. I think this feels lovely on the lower back. Breathing in to push away, breathing out to hug in. And we're going to release, pop the feet onto the mat, reclined bound angle pose. So the soles of the feet come together as we take the knees apart. You can either rest the arms away from the side of the body, or you may just want to rest them on your inner thighs there. Notice if there's any gripping going on with your inner thighs. If there is, just try and release. Let your body settle, let it sink into this pose. Keep the chin slightly towards the chest, so you're not tilting back with the head. Just take a couple of breaths here. Okay, we're going to release, come back to this semi-supine position. We're taking toe to sky pose, so let's just bring the right knee in towards the chest, supporting the leg at the back, and float the foot up towards the ceiling. You don't have to take the leg fully straight, just whatever you might want to. It might feel good for you this morning, whatever feels nice. In the focus with the breath, a nice, smooth, controlled breath. Moving into a twist now, we've got two options. So first option, just gently cross that right leg over the left. So you're not tightly crossing it, it's just a gentle crossover. Taking the arms out to the side, shoulder height. You can have the palms up or down, whatever you prefer. And then you're going to take the legs over to the left and the gaze over to the right. It is quite a strong twist. If this isn't suiting your back as you come into it that way, release, have the knees side by side and then take them across like that. So see what feels better for you, and particularly your lower back this morning. Notice where you're feeling this pose. Quite strong on the outer thighs and side of body. Wherever you're feeling it most, that's where you're going to direct your breath. Still breathing in and out through your nose. Okay, so we're going to release the twist and bring it into eye of the needle pose. So legs come back to the centre. We're going to pop the right foot on left thigh and just encourage that right knee out to the side a bit more. Might be enough for you to keep it here, or you may want to hug this left thigh in towards your chest. Keep the back of the neck long, so chin slightly towards the chest and not tilting back. And try not to let any tension creep into the shoulders. One more breath here. Okay, and release. We do those three moves opposite side then. So beginning semi-supine position. Left knee towards the chest, floating the foot up towards the ceiling, toe to sky pose. Remember, your leg doesn't have to be completely straight. Nice gentle one this morning. One more breath in this pose. And then cross your left over your right. Remember, it's a nice gentle cross, not a tight one. Arms out to the side, shoulder height. Next out breath, we're taking the knees over to the right, the gaze to the left.
And remember, you can adjust this position of your legs if this twist isn't suiting you this morning. Focus with your breath. Let your body melt down into this pose. Okay, one more breath. And let's bring that back to the centre. Eye of the needle pose. So left foot, right thigh, encourage that left knee out to the side. Keep it here if this is enough, or if you want more, let's hug that right knee, that right thigh in towards the chest. And keep the right foot and the right lower leg nice and relaxed. Don't want any tension to creep into the pose. Let's take one more breath here. And release. Okay, we're coming back to this semi-supine position. We're taking bridge pose with a breath, Dvipadipitham, and then we're going to hold it. So arms by the side, palms facing down. Again, this chin slightly towards the chest. Let's find our breath. And the next time you breathe in, push your hips up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, with control, come back down. I'm going to take this a few more times. If this isn't suiting you, your lower back this morning, take the pelvic tilts instead. Breath in to lift. Breath out to relax back down and to release. I'll take this a couple more times. This time as you come up, we're going to hold. So it's an in-breath to push the hips up. Out-breath to settle in to your bridge. And pause here for 3 breaths. For 2. For 1 more breath. How was that? Release back down. Let's bring the knees into the chest. Nice gentle hug like we had before with the hands just on top of the knees. Or if you prefer a stronger knees to chest pose, you can grip hold your elbows. And wherever you are with it, you may even want to rock from side to side. Okay, let's release. We're going to rock up to seated now. A nice easy cross-legged position. A side stretch and a twist. How's the back doing? Okay, so let's release the left hand to the side of you. We're going to take a breath in, reach up towards the ceiling, right hand. As you reach up with that right hand, really ground down into the mat with your right sitting bone. And then reach across. Pull back with that top shoulder. Turn your chest, your gaze towards the ceiling. Really enjoy this lovely stretched side of body. Okay, let's take it into a twist. This right hand comes behind the back of the waist. Left hand, right knee, it's an in-breath to lengthen. And it's an out-breath to twist to the right. So gently glancing over that right shoulder. And release. So across the way, change the way we've got the ankles crossed, and then take that the other side. Right hand to the side of the body. It's an in-breath to reach up to the ceiling with the left. Reach up as you ground down with that sitting bone, and then reach across. Reach across a bit more whilst keeping that sitting bone grounded down into the mat. Okay, let's release, take it into a twist. So left arm behind the back of the waist, right hand, left knee. In breath to lengthen, out breath to twist. One more breath here. And release. Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to come to all fours. So usually when we come into our all fours position, we position our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We're going to take it, the hands and the knees a little bit closer together today. So just walk the knees a bit in front of the hips and the wrists back from the shoulders. Apply your hand lock, really spreading the fingers and gripping onto the mat. We're taking a cat-cow stretch with breath here. I think it feels nicer on the back this way. If when we come into it doesn't suit you, you can take it back to have, to our usual position. See how you get on with it. So just find the breath. The next time you breathe in, come into cow pose. So you're sending your chest and your gaze forward, your tailbone lifts. And as you breathe out, arching the back, tilting the pelvis forward, taking the chin to your chest. Take that a few more times. Try to get as much movement on your spine as you can. Push into the mat when you come into your cat stretch. And in breath to take cow pose. And it's an out breath to take your cat stretch. Let's take one more cow, one more cat. And then release, setting our tabletop position with knees under hips and wrists under shoulders. Let's turn the toes. We're going to flow from here into downward facing dog a few times with our breath. Keep the knees soft. Let's take a breath in to lift up. Bottom goes up, bottom goes back. Neck is soft. And then as you breathe out with control, lower back down. Let's go again. Breathing in to lift. Breathing out. We'll stay up in our downward facing dog this time. Let's take a breath in to lift. Breath out to relax into the pose. Keep the knees soft. Neck soft. Let's pedal our heels up and down. So we're walking the dog. One leg bends, the other leg straightens. Maybe sway the hips from side to side. I always think that feels nice on my lower back. And let's hold the pose still. So maybe a bend again in both legs. Really push into the mat with your hands. Get your chest as close to your thighs as you can. And then sink the heels down towards the mat. Try and draw the shoulder blades down your back. Enjoy this lovely stretch. I'm going to take a couple more breaths here. Now we're going to come into dangling pose. So should we start pedaling the heels up and down, and then we'll walk the feet all the way to the hands. Position your feet so hip distance may be slightly wider. Then take hold of the elbows. No tension at all in the upper body as you just hang nice and loose as you dangle. Okay, so we're going to come up, take upward facing mountain and then standing side stretch. So just tuck the chin in towards the chest as you slowly roll up, so stacking one vertebra at a time. upright position, keeping hold of the elbows. Take the arms back alongside the ears. And then reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you reach up with your hands, push down with your feet. Keep the shoulders drawn away from the ears. Maybe bring a slight back bend into it, so take the thumbs back. And then release. Side stretch this time. Next in breath, up to the ceiling with your right hand. And as you breathe out, reach across, pulling back with that top shoulder, pushing out with your right hip. And left hand creeping down the outside edge of your left leg. Okay, and release. Left side, breathe in. And breathe out. Chest, gaze towards the ceiling. And release. Nice. So if you turn landscape on your mats, we're going to take the legs wide, not maximum width, but you know, a nice decent width apart. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. So we'll do right side first. If you turn right toes towards short edge, so for this one, you'll be sucking your thigh muscles up to your thigh bones. See how that feels. We might need to adjust the right leg slightly when we come into it if we've got knee issues this morning. We're going to take the arms out to the side, shoulders away from the ears, taking the gaze to the middle finger of your right hand. Let's take a breath in to lengthen through the torso and prepare. As we breathe out, reach out as far to the right as you can. Now let's release that right hand down on the inside of right leg as you reach up to the ceiling with the left. So these arms in one strong straight line here. And as you're travelling all the way to your fingertips, lengthening all these muscles in the torso. How does your right knee feel? Do you need to soften that knee slightly? For slightly longer. So generally in class we hold our poses sort of 5-6 breaths. On these taster sessions we've been doing on Facebook, we've been holding for 3 breaths. I'm going to take this a little bit longer today. Gazes towards that raised thumb. It's how your body starts to relax into the pose. Let's take one more breath here. Keeping the arms as they are, push into the feet, come on up. Let's swap sides. Right foot comes in, left foot turns out. Turn your gaze to middle finger of your left hand now. Breath in to lengthen and prepare. Breathe out to reach out as far to the left as you can, then lower the left as you raise the right. Reaching from thumb to thumb. Taking 5 breaths. Taking 2 more breaths here. And 1 more breath. Lovely. Okay, push into the feet as we come back up. Take your hands to your hips. Let's adjust the feet. We're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. Can you take your feet a little bit wider? Toes in, heels out. Again, sucking your thigh muscles up to your thigh bones. We'll start with a side stretch. So I suppose this is kind of like a variation of triangle pose. Have the left hand resting on the outside of your thigh there. We're going to take a breath in, reach up with your right. And as you breathe out, stretch across. Just as before, pull back with that top shoulder. Okay, and release. Taking that other side, let's breathe in, take left hand up. And breathe out, stretch across. We're coming forward. Just check these toes are in, heels are out. This will protect your knees. Hands to your hips. We're going to take a breath in to lengthen through the upper body. And on an out breath, keep that length as you fold forwards. Let's take a dangling version of this pose. So hold on to your forearms here. Or if, like me, you know, your arms are resting on the floor, so maybe just adjust that so it's more comfortable for you. Try and completely let go of tension, relaxing the upper body, just letting the weight of your head carry you forwards. Keeping your focus with your breath. Shoulders relaxed, neck is soft. Taking 2 more breaths. Shall we soften the knees, engage the core to protect your back, taking hands back to the hips, and on your next in-breath, coming up. And shuffle your feet in, maybe walk it out if you need to. So we've just got one more standing pose to do. Have you got some wall space near you? You don't need your mat. We're going to do downward facing dog against the wall. I do this quite a lot with my pregnant students. It's always a popular one. You're going to face your wall and take, or the back of a chair, back of the bed, wherever you are. We're going to take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. I'm going to take your hands to the wall, a little bit wider than your shoulders. And then push into the wall. Arms are strong and straight, back is long, neck is long. Don't let your head go too floppy, as otherwise it might hurt your neck. And you're really pushing back with your sitting bones. You don't have to have the legs straight. I think it's a nice stretch. If you're tight in the hamstrings, you may want to keep the knees soft here. Try and get as much length in your upper body as you can. How does that feel? Feels good. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And very slowly coming out. And releasing. We've still got some people with us, aren't we? Hi, Lisa. Okay, so we're going to come down to the mat now. If you come into the middle of your mat, we'll come down dangling and then we're going to come down onto our tummies. So taking hold of your elbows, chin towards your chest, slowly releasing down. And take your hands to the floor and come in all the way into your prone position onto your tummy. We're going to take Sphinx. So feet a comfortable distance apart. If you are working today with any lower back issues, mat distance might suit you better here. Elbows underneath your shoulders, maybe slightly wider. Hips pressing down into the mat as you send your chest and your gaze forwards. Your shoulders away from your ears. Breath here. Now we're going to adjust the position of the leg. So right leg goes first. You're going to draw that right knee up towards your arm there, and you'll have your knee and your ankle in one line. Foot's flexed out to the side. We do this pose in our yin yoga sessions. If it's not suiting you resting on your forearms with that right leg up, rest down, take your head down to the mat. Keep your focus with your breath. Take one more breath here, then we'll switch sides. So we'll straighten bringing that right leg out, maybe a little rock from side to side to release in the centre. And then we're drawing the left knee up. Remember, ankle and knee are in one line, foot's flexed. The shoulders pulled away from the ears. You've still got this lift in the chest. Nice. And release. Lovely. We are going to take a child's pose. So just push it into the mat. Take the bottom back towards the heel. So again, knees are comfortable distance apart. Or they're resting on the forearms or head on the mat, whatever feels good for you. Let your bottom snuggle back towards your heels. Let's take it into an extended child's pose if you're not already there. You're reaching the hands forward so you get this nice lengthening through the back, the shoulders, the arms. Okay, and release it. We're going to roll onto our backs. It's a twist with breath that we're going to be doing next. Couple of options. We're going to take the arms out to the side, shoulder height. Again, palms up, palms down, whatever's suiting you better. Option one, your knees are into your chest, and we're going to work knees from side to side with breath here. If that's not for your lower back or for your hips this morning, you're going to take this with your feet in contact with the floor. Okay? So choose your option. Let's take a breath in here. Next, out breath. Take your knees to the left, your gaze to the right. And then as you breathe in, draw that back to centre. So you'll need to pull up on the pelvic floor and pull your belly button back towards your spine to help with this movement. Next, out breath. Knees to the right, gaze to the left. Breathe in, centre. Do this a couple more times, nice and smooth and slow and controlled. Remember to keep these internal locks applied. Working with your breath. So it's an in-breath to draw it to centre, an out-breath to come into your twist. Take that one more time each side. And you come back to the centre this time. They're not already there, pop the feet on the floor. We're going to take a full body stretch. As long as you can possibly be, really stretch it out. And then let's take it into our laying crescent moon or banana pose. So keep the hips where they are, but shift the feet, head and hands as far over to the left as you can. Relax the shoulders, cross the right ankle on top of the left. One more breath. And bring that into the centre, stretch it out. Now I'm going to take our banana pose over to the other side. Left ankle crossed on top of the right. Shoulders sinking into the mat. One more breath. Release. Our closing pose, Shavasana, corpse pose, yoga pose like all the others. So if you just take your heels a little bit wider than your hips, let feet relax into a nice comfortable position, so it might be flopping out to the side. Relax your ankles, relax your calves, relax your thighs. Allow a lengthening of your spine along the mat and a broadening of the back of the shoulders. And then take the arms away from the sides of the body so you've got space in the armpits. And have your palms facing up. So hands in contact with the mat. Lengthening through the back of the neck, so that chin slightly in towards the chest. Just close your eyes and take your focus to your breath. Feeling your body moving with your breath. Rise and fall of the chest. Opening and closing of the ribs. You even be able to feel some movement in your tummy. And notice how your body naturally relaxes every time you breathe out. Use your breath to breathe away any tension, any tightness, any stress. Breathing relaxation into the body. And breathing tension out of the body. Okay, let's open the eyes and take a full body stretch. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a big hug. We're going to rock up to seated.
Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that session and you found it beneficial, especially if you are suffering with lower back issues. So I'm here on Facebook Live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30, and I've been putting all those sessions on YouTube as well, so you can catch up with those later. And I'm also teaching hot pot flow classes on Zoom, so you know, please contact me with any requests or if you need any more information about my online classes. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Well done. Have a lovely day.